Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel once again, and for today's video this is going to be my second team that I've used up in the Fantasy Cup for season 15, and this team is going to be double steel. So in my first video I've shared double fairy backline which worked really well for me, but I wanted to spice things up with a double steel line, which is this team because it have got alolansandslash and the steel in the back for the fairies and the dragons as well. But since it's steel type, I need to watch out for ground type moves and fire types moves as well, because Registeel and alolansandslash does take super effective from them as well. But Registeel and Sandslash is quite bulky, and if not, it's a hard hitting move. It will not get one shot from a fire type or a ground type move as well. To counter that, to counter the ground type and the fire type moves, I have my lead, which is going to be my altered Giratina. That makes up a good tricky and cheeky line over here, because Giratina can handle all the weaknesses for my backline and making them as a ABB team strategy over here. Alongside, I need to cover those fighters as well, and Giratina being part dragon and ghost really have good matchups against those. And with Giratina and Registeel in the same team, you can really guess how bulky and how good coverage this team have, alongside with consistency for moves and matchup as well. So without further more delay, let's jumping into the first battle. I pick up a lead against Dragonite, so I'll be safe swiping quickly into my own Registeel over here, and to which I thought letting the first charge move go through, which ends up being a Dragon Claw, and that was a really great call from my end. To which now I will be going for the first move with the Zap Cannon for the incoming Escavalier that comes back in, and Escavalier does have access to counter and drill run, which is really not great for my Sandslash over here. So that is the reason it is really good that they came in and out with it. To which now I am able to reach to the next focus blast, taking the first drill run as well, and I'm able to get switch, which is huge because now I can align my alolansandslash onto this Dragonite over here. So that's how good Registeel is, and how bulky and how consistent Registeel safe swap can be. It's deadly, but you have to watch out for some kind of fire or ground moves over here. To which now they switched out into their final Pokemon, which ends up being an Empoleon, and the Empoleon Dragonite code is going to be just ruptured by my own Sandslash having access to Ice Punch and Drill Run. So Drill Run onto a Sandslash is really helpful now, because it is definitely buffed up than Bulldoze over here, which is a straight upgrade. And from now I'll be coming back with my own Giratina altered, and I can easily soak up whatever they are going to throw, which ends up being a Dragon Claw. And now I am able to go for the next Shadow Sneak. I'm not sure why I went for Shadow Sneak, because 2 Dragon Claws would have been enough to get both the shields, and then my incoming alolansandslash could have wrapped up the game. But now they cannot farm me down again with those dragon breaths, because yeah, it's a Giratina altered, which they recognize and they let it go, and it's going to be a win for the first battle over here with this team. So GG's. Moving on to the next battle, I pick up a lead against Haxorus. So Haxorus is again a good counter for my backline as well, to which I'll be staying in this matchup, and they caught the first Dragon Claw onto their incoming Registeel, which I am not too much worried about, because Registeel does not have a good matchup until and unless they are running Zap Cannon and they are constantly debuffing me with that. So I'll be letting this next charge move go through, so which ends up being a Flash Cannon, and I'm quite sure that they're actually running Flash Cannon and Zap Cannon, which I thought, and I was counting the moves, but I was in a dilemma if they are going for a Zap Cannon or not, which ends up being a correct call, because Zap Cannon takes one more extra lock on damage, lock on energy, which I called correctly, and now I can easily swap out into my A.Sandslash and I'll be going for the next drill run that puts it quite low. And now I'm able to reach to the next drill run as well, which might not get the knockout, but it can put it really low so that I can go for extra farm down with my own Giratina altered over here. So Flash Cannon coming in does neutral damage, does almost take it out, and they can farm it down with lock on, which I'm not worried about because I can easily come back with my Giratina and get the farm down with Shadow Claws over here. And let's see what they have in the back apart from their Haxorus, to which they have got their own Alolansandslash, to which I'll be going for the back-to-back Shadow Sneaks to go for a bit of chip damage over here. So next Shadow Sneak coming in, which will put the A.Sandslash quite low, below its half, like almost at its half health. And I thought of catching the next move of Ice Punch onto my altered onto my Registeel over here, which I could not, and I have to unfortunately shield up the first drill run over here. So moving on with the battle, I will be letting this next charge move go through because drill run, though it's super effective, it's non-stab, and coming from A.Sandslash, it does not hurt too much to a Registeel. So I'll be going for the first Zap Cannon that does guarantees the first shield from my opponent's end, and now their attack is lowered as well. So I believe they will be going for the next Breaking Swipe to put my attack even low, which does not hurt me a lot once again because I am a Registeel over here. And now after taking in the next Breaking Swipe, I will be switching out into my own altered Giratina to save up some energy onto my Registeel, and now I can easily go for the next Dragon Claw over here, which might get the final shield from my opponent's end, and it does. And I can now go for the next Breaking Swipe, Dragon Claw to take out the Haxorus over here, and they have to come back with their own Alolansandslash, and they have to throw energy because until and unless they threw, I will be able to reach to the next Shadow Sneak, which would have taken it out, and they goes for Ice Punch, and now I have enough energy before they could reach to the next Ice Punch over here, and this Focus Blast will guarantee its knockout, giving the win for me as I can farm it down with lock on onto the Haxorus over here. So GG's, really well played, and it's really a close battle as well. Moving to the next matchup, I pick up a lead against Tapu Fini. So Tapu Fini is actually a kind of troublesome situation for me because it have access to Surf and Moonblast, which I don't want to take in with my own Giratina. So I caught the move onto the A.Sandslash of my own, and they just came back in with their own A.Sandslash as well. So since I lose CMP over here, so I have got a plan to which might be a bluff, but I have to take that risk right now. So I'll be taking this matchup into a 2:2 shield scenario. So I have to go for one drill run and the next Ice Punch, which I lose CMP once again. So I will shield up and I'll be going for the Ice Punch. So since Ice Punch takes one less Shadow Claw, so I'll be able to reach to the next drill run before they can reach to the next drill run over here, and they have to go for the next Ice Punch, which I believe is not going to be enough to take me out, and rather I can go for the next drill run, which does not take me out. That's really good, and now I can easily go for one drill run to almost take them out over here. And now I have gave myself switch. So it was a really it was a good plan to go for the risk and take the bait over here with Ice Punch. And now the final Pokemon that they have access to is going to be their own Galarian Weezing. So Galarian Weezing have access to Play Rough that hurts my Giratina, and Overheat that also hurts my Registeel over here as well. But the sheer bulk of Registeel and Giratina is what holding this team together, because one Play Rough does not take me out, and I can easily go for the next Shadow Sneak over here once again, which they caught onto their Tapu Fini. But I am not too much worried of that because I've got a really great counter in my backline over here for Tapu Fini in this scenario. So Tapu Fini will be going for the next serve, which barely hurts me. So it just do a tickle to my Registeel over here, and I can easily go for the next Zap Cannon to take this Tapu Fini out, as all the shields are down right now. But the thing is, they have enough energy to go for one overheat, but does one overheat takes out a Giratina from this kind of health? We'll see. It does not, and I can go for the next Zap Cannon for they win onto the next Galarian Weezing to get the game over here as well. So GG's to my friend, and really well played. Moving into the second last battle of the video and the set, I pick up a lead against Escavalier, which is really good lead for me, and they are staying in, which is really good for me because my alolansandslash does not want to face this Escav over here. To which now I'll be building up almost 100 energy, and now I'll be going for the next Shadow Sneak over here. Shadow Sneak does neutral damage, and Escav is not the bulkiest of the mon, so it will hurt them quite a bit as well. So now I can easily let this next charge move go through, which ends up being an acid spray bait, and I can even load up on energy right now. So I'll be going for the next Dragon Claw, which does enough damage, though resisted, takes it out, and let's see what they comes back in with. So they comes back in with their own Togekiss over here, and they swap out into their own Giratina over here in this scenario, which is actually running Dragon Breath and not Shadow Claw, which is really good for me because Dragon Claw and Shadow, like Dragon Claw and Dragon Breath, both are resisted onto a Registeel because of its steel typing. And the thing is, I can go for Zap Cannon to constantly debuff them, which have a 60% chance of debuffing them, which is quite high, but still I'll count on those debuffs which I get for 2-on-2 Zap Cannons, which is really great. And as you guys can see, this Dragon Breath and Shadow Sneak does not do enough damage right now to take me out, and I can easily go for the next Zap Cannon. And I hope this also lowers their attack, which will be 3 stages debuffed right now, which it does. And now from this kind of range, I can go for a farm down with lock on, which is double resisted onto a ghost type, which will be really hectic and gruesome. But that way I can have so much energy loaded onto my own Registeel over here. But they will be going for the next Shadow Sneak. Does it take it out? It does not, because it is a Registeel, and let's see what they have in their backline, which ends up being a Togekiss. And I'll be going for the next Zap Cannon, which guarantees out the first shield from my opponent's end. Does they want to farm me down? They do want to farm me down, but not before I can go for the next Zap Cannon over here to take both the shields from their Togekiss right away. So that's the brutal power of Registeel over here in this scenario of Fantasy Cup. It does take out both the shields. It does take out Giratina as well. So it's just super like highly ranked in this meta. To which now I'll be shielding up the first ancient power. I thought it will be a flamethrower, but it's not, so I can let this next charge move go through. I can easily go for the next Ice Punch. That does take it out and gives me the win for the second last battle here as well. So that is going to be GG's. So really well played. So now moving on with the final battle of the video, I pick up a lead against Haxorus once again. So Haxorus lead is kind of tricky because they will be constantly debuffing me with super effective breaking swipe. But let's see how much damage it does. It does quite a bit of damage over here because Haxorus is really on the attack weighted side. So now I'll be going for the next Dragon Claw, which also hurt them a lot, but they let it go once again. So now I'll be going for the next one. So that does take it out, and they comes back with their own alolansandslash right now. To which I'll be coming back in with my own Registeel over here, which I will match up. They will match up with their Registeel of their own. So I'll be going for the next Focus Blast that does 50% of its health, and now I am going to call it. So this might be a Zap Cannon or Flash Cannon, which it is, so it does not do too much damage, but though I get the attack drop over here, but now I'm able to get to my next move before they can reach to their next focus blast, which is fine for me because they shield up the next focus blast over here. And now I'm going to match shields with this Registeel over here, but they're actually running flash cannon in this scenario, which I did not anticipate over here. So I have to shield up, and now I'll be going for the next focus blast that does take it out in this scenario. So they have to come back with their alolansandslash over here, and they have to go for their drill run in this scenario, which almost does knock me out, but they get a kind of hefty farm down with Shadow Claws as well. So this is not good. That is the reason I have to come back with my Giratina over here to soak up some of energy. So they have to go for Ice Punch that does not knock me out, and I preserve some of the health, some of the energy onto my Giratina as well for the incoming end battle in this scenario, or maybe a catch, to which now I can let this next charge move go through once again, because I was having so much health onto my Sandslash over here, and all I need to do is to get 2 drill runs off. So they shield up the first one, and I will match up shields once again, shielding up their next drill run once again. And now I can easily reach to the next drill run before they can do so, because they had to throw the energy on the Giratina over here. So next drill run incoming, that does almost take it out, but the Shadow Claws consistently, consecutive Shadow Claws does take it out and gives me the win for the battle and the 5-0 set over here as well. So as you guys can see, this team was so much effective and good for the Fantasy Cup meta. So you can try out this team and you can gain some of the elos, and let me know how that is working out for you. And if you want to suggest some more teams, do let me know in the comment sections as well. So if you're liking the video and content on this channel, do support me by liking, subscribing and sharing with your friends. And that will be all for this video. See you again in the next one. Till then, peace.